Hi there, my name is Harold. Welcome to Steer. Today we have a very special guest, CEO and one of the founders of Harmony Fine Foods, which also operate and own Black Opal Wagyu, one of the very fine, really popular steaks here at Steer Dining Room. Mr. Anthony Fellows. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you, Harold.
Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Yeah. So we've had Black Opal on the menu for quite a while now, so we thought, we'd pick your brains a little bit on how you achieve such an amazing product and get to know more about the provenance and the story behind Black Opal. So tell me, Anthony, what's the driving inspiration behind Black Opal?
When we brought Black Opal together, our aspiration was to try and deliver something which is special, something exclusive to everybody, irrespective of where you sit in the world and sit in life.
Yeah.
And I think we've delivered that, because what we've got with Black Opal is our meat. It's a conduit to good times. By sharing some Black Opal, you experience good times coming together.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what we're all about in hospitality, right?
Correct.
Good times.
Yes.
So I think you pretty much nailed that. What year did Black Opal start?
We actually started processing the brand right at the end of 2018.
Yeah.
So we've got some history behind us now.
Yeah. And why the name Black Opal?
Internally, we actually decided on Black Opal ourselves. We were looking for a name that connected to Australia.
Yeah.
We were looking for a name that connected to time and the slowness of time, and that it takes a long time to create something really, really special. We were looking for a name that connected to being rare and exclusive.
Yes.
And we were looking for a name that's a little bit mystic. And Black Opal's that. Opals take a long, long time to form. They are uniquely Australian.
Yeah.
The Black Opal is the rarest of any opal. And on top of that, if you research opals a little bit, there are some mystic qualities to opals and wearing opals. So we tended to feel that all embodied what we were looking for in our brand, in our meat.
Yeah, I love that. It certainly does make sense. Even like one of the breeds is Black Angus, so that also ties in as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, Black Opal does have a 1200 day signature process. And part of that 1200 day process is what you call backgrounding. Tell me, what does that mean and how does that affect the quality of the steak?
Yeah, that's interesting, because as you say, 1200 days from when we're putting the bull with the cow to when we actually enjoy this meat on a plate. And backgrounding, if you think about it from a human perspective, obviously the calf's born, it's like a young person, and it stays with the mother until it's weaned. And that may be when it's approaching teenage years. And then backgrounding is when you take that teenager, and during our backgrounding process, we make sure that occurs in the Western Districts of Victoria. And that's when the teenagers grow. We all know from our own kids that they might be chubby little kids when they're young, and as they become teenagers, they grow and they're playing sports and athletic, and they actually develop their frame and their body, and they grow up and mature. Backgrounding is when we do that with the animals. So at that point, they've left their mother, we take them to these magnificent pastures and open spaces, and it allows them to grow and be natural animals, and that helps them develop the frame and mature. And then after that, we can finish it all with the grading process. But the backgrounding is really to allow them to mature in a very natural way.
And after the backgrounding process, what does the feed look like?
Basically, it's a couple different rations, but ultimately the ration there has a component of barley, obviously really high quality white grain. That provides the energy. And then behind that, we actually have straw, which comes from the harvest product. As you know, when the barley's harvested, the grain's taken, but there's a straw left behind. We actually utilise that byproduct as a roughage into our diet, so that we're making use of a byproduct. And then we also take almond hulls, which are a byproduct of the almond industry. And cottonseed, a byproduct of the cotton industry, and both of those provide additional roughage and proteins. And so they're on a ration which is a mixture of grains and these byproducts.
And do you reckon that's what sort of gives that intricate marbling and pockets of flavour?
It does, because if we looked at, say, an Angus product, an Angus animal, in a feed situation, an Angus animal can be growing at over 2 kilos a day when he's on feed, because they're pushing this along. And you end up with a nice Angus product with a layer of fat around the outside, but very limited marbling. Our process is much slower. Our animals gain 0.8, 0.9 of a kilo a day. Very, very small gains. Because we're not trying to get the animal fat on the outside. we're keeping very good condition,
Yeah.
but we're allowing the animal to mature slowly and then lay down this intramuscular fat,
Yeah.
which is obviously what we see here, we refer to as marbling.
Yeah.
As we say, good things take time, and marble is very much, it's a function of diet, maturity, but time as
Yeah.
well. You can't lay marble down fast,
Yeah.
which is why black opals take time.
Apart from the feed as well, that's important in a great steak, is also genetics, right?
Yeah.
So, and we know that Black Opal is a crossbreed between Angus and Wagyu. Yeah. How does that deliver the flavour that you'd like to, and why Black Angus?
We'll deal with the Angus first, and the Angus is the dam, the mother. The Angus breed, as we all know, is a magnificent meat breed of cattle, well muscled, well shaped. But on top of that, the Angus breed itself is a very good maternal carrier. The Angus cows are very fertile. They have great milk supply. They're good mothers. That is an ideal animal to form the base of our program with. The Wagyu is brought in to deliver that magnificent result.
Yeah.
What we're really doing is we're using the Wagyu to infuse into that crossbred, into that combination there, the actual marbling and the exclusive nature of the meat, the flavours, the fats, etc., etc. What we do here is we're actually making sure we use the very best genetics for these animals to come through, which maximise the potential of the meat. And what we're looking for there is it's a good shaped muscle, but also it's got the degree of marble and also the fineness of marble.
Yes.
And so we end up with that combination of fine marble at the right degree and the consistency right through the carcass. All the various cuts have the correct percentages of marble relevant to them. That's where the genetics comes into play. That's by focusing on the right genetics, we can ensure that the maximum potential for good, consistent, fine marble. And that allows people like Jeffrey to do the very best with the meat.
Yes.
To allow those flavours to come out naturally for the guests as they eat the meal, etc., because the flavour's in the fat.
Speaking of fat and marbling, we've got two cuts at steer, the Black Opal F1 rump cap and the Scotch fillet. Which of these two is your favourite?
Well, you've actually got both my favourites there. I'd have to say that I don't know anybody who doesn't enjoy a Scotch fillet.
That's true, that's true.
However, I would say that these days I really do have a leaning towards rump cap. I found that it's a cut of meat that really does have a credible bit of flavour to it.
Yes.
And I think some of that flavour is obviously the marble, but it's also the degree of the fact that it's part of the rump muscle. And that muscle has had movement through it every day when that animal walks.
Yeah.
And that in itself, through usage, changes the nature of the rump cap. It's not quite as tender as the Scotch fillet, obviously.
Yes.
And with that movement, that little bit more development in the muscle, it has a slightly different flavour profile. And these days, if somebody gave me the choice for a meal, I'll tend to have a rump cap.
Yeah. If you could describe Black Opal Wagyu in just like one sentence or a few words.
I think Black Opal Wagyu offers a unique eating experience that brings families or friends together with a wonderful tasting product that works really well in any environment, from a high-end restaurant to a steak sandwich with the children sitting at the lawn.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think you nailed that in one sentence. Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by and taking the time to share with us your legacy and knowledge with Black Opal. And look forward to continue working together.
Happy to be part of it, and we're very happy supplying steer. It's a wonderful experience. You do our product, wonderful service.
Thank you.
Thank you.